Senior exercise science student. Functional fitness is defined by Rickley and Jones as having the physical capacity to perform normal everyday activities independently without undue fatigue. Decreases in muscular power may be associated with a decline in functional fitness. A loss of power over time is a key predictor for future mobility disability, increased fall risk, and decreased independent living. Power-based training interventions have been suggested to help older adults maintain functional, independent living and improve quality of life. However, it is not clear if the aging adult who is beginning to demonstrate declines in muscular power will show a significant reduction in their ability to perform functional tasks. Therefore, the purpose of this research project was to assess selected measures of functional fitness in low and high power groups of community-dwelling older adults against a control group of younger adults. So our subjects included 59 older adults and 20 young adults. The subjects all completed the power stair climb test, where they started at the bottom of the stair and climbed the stairs 9 steps as quickly and safely as possible, and the time stopped as soon as both feet hit the top stair. From the power stair climb test, as you can see, there is a low power group and a high power group. The groups were divided based upon research by beam, where low power is 3.74 watts and below, and high power is above the 3.74 watts. Each subject then began functional fitness testing. During the habitual walk test, a digital timing system was used to measure the subject's gait speed during a 20-meter self-selected pace, so they walked freely for 20 meters. The subjects also performed the 30-second chair stand, so they were instructed to rise and sit back down in a chair as many times as possible in 30 seconds without using their arms to get up from a standard height chair. And the last functional fitness measure was the get up and go. So subjects were instructed to rise from a chair, go around a cone that was placed 8 feet away, and come back to the chair and sit down again as quickly and safely as possible. This is kind of like an agility test for older adults. And moving on over to the data, we used a one-way ANOVA to analyze this. The young adults are in the green, they were able to perform the chair stands, more chair stands, and up and go quicker than both of the older groups. And although the low power group, down here, the low power group was able to perform the habitual walk at their age-predicted normal range, the high power group, the older group, was still able to perform that faster. The high power group was also able to perform more chair stands and the up and go quicker than that low power group. It should be noted though that for the up and go, the time it took for the low power group to do the up and go does put them at an increased risk for falls. The results of the study overall show that the high power group is able to perform functional tasks greater than or outperform their low power counterparts, so in the chair stands and the up and go. But the interesting thing is that they were able to perform the habitual walk at the same rate as the young adults, so that's really outstanding. Throughout the aging process, muscular strength and power decline, causing physical ability to diminish. While functional fitness is an important aspect of quality of life, for older adults, muscular power is also imperative in the ability to perform everyday activities and keep their independence. Therefore, health professionals working with an aging population should not only work on functional fitness, but also strength and muscular power for older adults. Any questions? They had to walk freely. They could use it just to touch for guidance, but they had to walk freely.
And is there a walk approach, or you just started walking?
Started at the bottom.
Over there?
Did you have any trips or falls? You commented about how
No.
they were walking faster if they were in green.
Nope. They were just, there was no trips or falls. They were just at an increased risk. The speed of it.
So I haven't read the book yet. Did you have spotters when you were doing?
Yes.
What type of community were the
older subjects from.
Like a retirement community.
Is there a socioeconomic class that's more well represented in this community?
That I do not know.
Sometimes, in my experience, it's, the higher socioeconomic classes tend to also be the ones who are
More functional.
more functional.
That would be interesting for further research to compare the difference.
And how did you separate out low and high power? Sorry about this.
Research from Bean, he had said that low power is 3.74 watts and below, and then high power is above the 3.74 watts.
Did you monitor the technique used in how especially maybe the young subjects, sat in the seated test? Was there a difference in how they did the
Chair stands. Yep. We did not look at that aspect of the chair stand.
I'm just curious anecdotally of whether observations I've had is young people tend to be able to just sort of let go and flop, and older people tend not to want to do that.
Right.
So I just was curious if that had anything to do with the technique. If you flop, you can get back up a little bit faster, maybe even increase, have a little bit of use of your stretch reflex.
Right. No, future research could show technique and more biomechanically how it's done, but it's not something that we looked at.
Are there any other questions?